The Greek origins of the word sophomore is sophos, which means wise, and moros, which means foolish. So a sophomore is a wise fool, which I think is a fitting description for most teenagers, and quite frankly, most adults. The disciples were certainly sophomoric at times. They argued among themselves about which one of them was Jesus' favorite, completely missing the point of everything he had taught them. A defining characteristic of being a wise fool is believing that you know all the answers, even when you clearly do not. Truly, the word is an oxymoron, because it combines two things that are complete opposite, and frankly, rightly so. Because by definition is not wise, because by definition a fool is not wise, and if you are wise, then you are by definition not a fool. Yet, our behavior as a species often makes me wonder if there is any wisdom left in the world. Jesus settles the dispute between the 12 by saying that whoever wants to be first must be a servant of all. All, as in everyone and everything. Notice that Mark does not say all people. He ends with the phrase, at all. All what? Our sophomoric selves assume he meant all people, because what else would it be? But once we apply a little logic and dig deep into our scriptural knowledge, we remember that God created humanity to have dominion over creation, which means that we have sovereignty over it. Or to put it another way, we are tasked with caring for it. And because we have been bad at our job, and because God so loved the world, they sent their only begotten Son to redeem the world. God sent Jesus to return us to our purpose, which is to be the servant of all. During the Enlightenment, philosophers such as Rousseau and Locke and many others spoke of government as a contract between the people of a nation, a contract in which the people agreed to follow their leaders as long as their leaders were caring for the people. It was from this idea that the phrase servant of the state came into being. Frederick the Great of Prussia was the first to use that term. He said that he was the first servant of the state, meaning that he saw his role as the sovereign was to serve his kingdom, not to dominate it. Freddie, as I like to call him, deserves some credit. He deserves some credit here because he recognized that holding dominion over something does not mean that you should simply use it or use that thing for your own selfish devices. Because that is what a fool does. A fool thinks that they can extract minerals from the earth under the guise that they are using those minerals to better humanity by facilitating the creation of gadgets that make life easier, and that doing so causes no harm. A wise person recognizes that the process of this removal is harming the environment in ways that cannot be repaired in our lifetime. A sophomore, a wise fool, agrees that the harming of the earth is bad, and then posts a video about it on TikTok from their iPhone, completing the circle of irony. God gave us dominion over creation, but with that power comes responsibility. And because our species tends to lead more towards foolishness than wisdom, God sent Jesus. God sent Jesus to give us pearls of wisdom, like those who want to be first need to be last, and a servant of all. This is God telling us we messed up. Because having dominion over creation means that we must serve creation, not dominate it. We started to understand this during the Enlightenment. We started to understand the wisdom of Christ, the wisdom that said by serving all people, all animals, all plants, all that was and is created by God, we can and we will see the heaven and the earth that John speaks of in his Revelation. I suspect we have a long way to go before we will see the new heaven and the new earth. But I have hope. I have hope because if nothing else in this world is true, I know that God will never give up on us, even though we act like sophomores most of the time. Amen.